Hello, and welcome once again to a very special episode of the Force Commander's Guide to Purging Nurgle. I'm Jay Starr, joined as always by my favorite friend and two-time Hugo Award nominee finalist, Polish.
Was that a sad puppies joke?
Probably? It was, Chuck Tingle, right?
I am not Chuck Tingle.
Much to my disappointment every day.
I just want to make it clear, I am not, in fact, a Hugo Award-winning nominee. Oh. This is one of the good research projects.
Yes. Going through all 5 of them slowly. I mean, not slowly individually, but, having to do a 12 to 16 day research times 5 means it's gonna be a while.
Well, slowly, because you keep dumping all of your bad shit on her.
Yeah, I mean, okay, sure, that's probably not helping too.
But yeah, no, this is one of the ones that's absolutely worth rushing for, because it makes your seed stockpiles go further. It makes everything cheaper to upgrade.
Yep. Right, prognosticator.
Servitors and components have been allocated.
Right. So we haven't really done a whole lot on the third tab here, the void shields, the gun batteries, and the mechanical bay. So this is one of the, I guess I'd call non-standard game overs. Yeah, if the edict's hull gets to 0, the edict just explodes and it's game over.
Yeah, you blow up.
Yeah. And that can happen from various things, warp storms, in-flight events, venting large amounts of your crew into space because of suspected heresy. Things.
I appreciate what they were going for there, but honestly, they could have extricated the entire, ship stat system and it would have been fine. All it is attacks. If you haven't upgraded your ship stats, then you are trusting that you won't get any of the events that punish you for not having done it.
Yeah,
if you have upgraded it and you don't get any of those events, you've wasted time when you could have been investing in, I don't know, more warp speed to be able to do missions without,
Yeah.
advancing the clock as much.
Having placed the first 2 prognosticars where I did when the map was small, where we place future prognosticars is just really an easy matter of figuring out where the puzzle pieces land that cover things that aren't already covered. There's going to be a little bit of overlap, I think, because right there we're going to double cover that one that has a little bit of green taint on it, but once you get those first 2, every other prognosticar locks into place. Like this one is pretty obvious because it gets 6 stars. This guy gets 6 stars. Sure, it double covers the one south of the Eldari Craft world, but they fall into place pretty easily. And this this corner of the quadrant's getting a little nurgling, so we're gonna drop the prognosticar here.
Yeah, you only get so many prognosticars in total. The map is always the same, so there is an optimal way to deploy them. I'm sure somebody's got it in the Steam guide.
Yeah, actually. Yeah.
It's not that hard. If you know that the map expands, it's not that hard to eyeball it and get reasonably close.
Right. That is the thing, though, that if you don't know the map is going to expand, placing those initial 2 prognosticars, or just your very first initial prognosticar, you might make unknowingly suboptimal choices. So, this is the Tentarus Hive. This is a very specific mission type, which I do not like. And we'll get into it because we'll have plenty of time. We are taking Boars for a very specific reason. That specific reason is his power armor, or Terminator armor, is immune to plague. I wish I had that for everybody. This mission is going to have a very special set of circumstances, and being immune to plague really mitigates a lot of the worst of it. If I had 2, or everybody, in some sort of armor that at least had a point of armor and immunity to plague or high resistance, this mission becomes a lot less annoying. I don't have that. I have Boars, so...
I was surprised that you didn't actually spend the seeds to upgrade his armor.
The yellows? Yeah, I only have 5 yellows, and that one was 3. It probably is worth it, but it just... it was cutting it kind of close.
My agents report a cult has been illicitly accessing this area for several weeks. should those same agents not have done something prior to our intervention?
This cult was not deemed a priority, Brother Ehhhh. At least, until now. Your target is the Tentarus Hive, but the nearby germs have rendered it invulnerable.
Hooray! Vulnerable mission target. Welcome to why I hate this mission. Well,
I
part
personally choose to believe that you're just not spending yellow seeds because you don't have the upgrade that makes yellow seeds cheaper yet.
That's also a good point, yes. Having just gotten access to the 4 other colors of seeds, their supplies are really limited, so getting the tech investment on them before you start spending on them can make your limited stock go farther.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's a one-time expenditure.
Yeah.
Costs you 1 more seed.
Yeah.
But I know I've seen this mission, I just don't
Yep.
actually remember much about it, so this will be surprising to me.
I think you'll remember pretty quickly.
I'm here to serve.
Hive germs.
Yeah.
Listening.
Right. I also cut out like 5 minutes of me faffing around in the equipment screen.
Oh, I mean, of course.
Yeah.
I've seen how you stream this.
Yeah, right.
You spend at least 5
Weapons
minutes
ready.
before every mission
Yeah.
fucking around with equipment.
I just wanted to show that I rubbed some seeds on the Vindicare and gave him the Blessed Greaves. So he doesn't have the focus that he used to have, but he has a default 70% crit rate now.
I mean, it's really good with precision targeting.
Yes, it is. It is very good. It's great. This is the exact wrong kind of mission to bring him on, though. And I'm thinking you're going to start remembering why as soon as I end my first turn.
Storm.
You gotta kill 5 hive germs.
Taking position.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
I'll get into it. I just want to see if the first turn jogged to remember or not. I was worried about activating that stuff, and then I realized this is high cover, so he's not going to see over it.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
I definitely understand why you didn't take the "you are not allowed to heal" martial challenge.
Right. Also, yeah, I was talking about something else at that point, but yes, this kind of mission always comes with the do not
Hive will
heal
target
glorious
clusters of
deed.
knights and afflict them with vile plague. Spread out our knights to mitigate the damage.
Yeah. So, while invulnerable, actually, just while the mission's gone, the Tentarus Hive is A, invulnerable, and B, at the start end of my every turn, is going to fire that infinite range artillery. Now, it only does, like, a damage or 2, and then it also inflicts plague, but only at a 75% chance. So it's not particularly strong, but it is constant, it is unavoidable, and though Hector says spread out to avoid it, it is area 5, which in real terms means it has a radius of 5 and a diameter of 10
tiles wide.
which is 10 tiles between 2 knights is usually like being pretty well spread out. What
If
I
it were
feel
always centered on a knight, that would be
I was
more
about to say, yeah. If this attack had to be targeted at a knight, spreading your guys out by 5 is not so bad. That is not the case. The Hive can pick any tile and will get all of your people. So if you want to not have multiple people hit, every knight needs to stand 10 tiles away from every other knight. That is basically not doable.
You don't have any supporting
Yeah.
fire. If you get into a fight while that's happening and you're spread out like that, like maybe the person next to them might be close enough to contribute, certainly not close enough to do anything in melee.
Yeah. So for perspective, like
Firing position.
a 10 tile range is typically what the maximum you move when you're in combat. Like that's 2 AP moving full. When we're out of combat, sure, you move 15. Give or take terrain, obstacles, things like that, you still might spend your entire turn moving and only be 10 tiles away from where you started. Like, that's in a straight line for an AoE. And so, look at this. Like, that hit I think just about everybody. It got my Justicar way up there. It actually even got the Vindicare in the back. It got the Apothecary off to the side. Like, when it can target and not be centered on a knight, it hits everybody. Yeah, so it hit the Vindicare, but the only good news is that the Plague effect is a 75% chance. So everybody has a 1 in 4 chance of resisting it. Vindicare has, I think, about 15, 25 resistance on his body armor. So he's slightly less likely to get plagued, but it's just so annoying. What is this, like, two Marines, a Bloat, and 2 regulars? This is not the most dangerous pod. It is probably one of the larger patrols, and there's 2 things about this map. The first one is, because the Tentarus Hive is always artillerying us, we never leave combat.
Yeah.
So we never get that free turn to reload, refresh AP, and move. Which kind of means that we continue to eat more artillery. Like, if we had a chance to, you know, get 15 squares in, we could, you know, get that free turn in, get from point A to point B a bit faster, and eat less artillery. Not going to happen. It also means that if we're moving from point A to point B and we get engaged, we don't have full ammo for it unless you know, spend the manual action point for it, which means you're moving slower, meaning you're getting more artillery.
Yeah, it does seem to have changed the paradigm of the game in a way that is not good. There are other missions, particularly in the DLC, that also do this, and they are generally not liked.
Yeah.
I am an instrument of vengeance.
The other thing, I think it's going to be a little bit more demonstrable as we go, is that it feels like the enemy patrols on these maps are not as strong as I would expect on the normal missions. Like, 2 Marines and a couple of melees is not terrible. Like, it's, I don't know if I'd weigh it against 3 Marines equivalent, or maybe a little bit more, because there's 5 versus 3 targets, or maybe it's a little less because the melee guys are pathetic and we'll just donk them. But that is not a particularly strong pod, especially from what we've started seeing, where it's like, you know, like a Blight Lord Terminator and a couple of goons, or, you know, 3 Marines and a Plague Surgeon, or whatever. So it feels like the enemy patrols are light. We went by it really fast, but that Hive Germ we killed only had 10 health. And so I can't really confirm this, but I feel like the idea for this mission was to split up 2 and 2 and go around the central structure, because the map is essentially like a donut, and kill the germs with 2 soldiers each, and then converge back in the middle for the Hive.
Taste my fury.
I mean, I can kind of see where you're going with there, but also, no party ever wants to split up.
Yeah.
I must rearm.
Just feels like a really bad idea to do that. Especially since to be honest, this is not the ideal party composition for this. Ideally, I would want 2 people that were either had several points of armor or were immune to plague. Like, because Boars doesn't care. He gets hit by this stuff. He takes 1 point of damage. He's a Terminator with 2, and we could have rubbed some seeds on him for more. And then he's immune to plague. If you have 2 people that are immune to plague, you can just bunch them together and try to keep the other guys spread out, but like I said, they have to stay 10 times away from the 2 cluster, and you just draw the artillery fire that way. So there are ways and kit that can make this sort of a mission easier, more mitigatable, but I feel like the team composition I've rolled in with is more demonstrating how a player approaching this mission for the first time without advanced knowledge would roll into this mission and what they would be surprised by.
I mean, that's completely fair. But with the light patrols, I think part of that is a counterbalance for the fact that you are taking the plague artillery every single turn.
Yeah.
So if you didn't have armor, that 1 damage would chip away, would add up over multiple turns.
Yep. And the plague is another couple of points on top of that every time.
Yeah, if you're not resisting it, you can essentially assume that you're taking 3 damage a turn.
Yeah.
The Vindicare doesn't have that much in the way of HP.
No, doesn't.
Yeah, especially your more leveled up brothers.
Unleash
Like 3
me.
points of damage, they can handle a few turns of that without an issue, as long as there's an apothecary nearby. You know what's not happening if you're splitting 2 and 2?
Having an
You're not
apothecary
getting an
nearby.
apothecary nearby.
Yeah.
I mean, you could solve that by carrying meta skulls. You know, having a meta skull in each group and sort of trusting that you're going to rush through fast enough. But
I was gonna say, yeah, because even if you did, the average, a Marine without pockets or trade swords only carrying, I think, one skull.
well, like you'd have an apothecary in one group and then
Right.
somebody wearing skull armor in the other,
Yeah.
hypothetically. Like you could make that work.
Yeah.
Firing on target.
It is just kind of a giant pain. Like, this is by far probably my least favorite mission type, just because the off-map artillery, that is invulnerable. If I could have rushed it and maybe dealt with it, you know, okay, sure, but I have to go around the map getting all
As
these
requested.
hive germs, dealing with it the entire time, and it's just rude.
Perfect shot.
And to compare it to a completely different genre of game, MechWarrior 5 at some point added in missions with artillery, and you can rush the artillery and stop it from shooting at you. And you can also dodge it. Like, as long as you're in anything faster than, I don't know, an unmodded Atlas. You know, if you can go 48 kph, you can dodge any artillery shot at you. But it's really annoying because when it shows up on these missions, it's inevitably like behind all of the objectives.
Of course.
Frequently, you can't go to there and fight them. Like, you can't send one fast mech to go do anything about it, especially not with bots, because the bots will follow you and run into everybody. Or you tell them to stand still, and then a patrol runs up and they're standing there while the patrol kills them.
So you have reminded me, you said you can dodge them with even, you know, cumbersome mechs, which is something they kind of could have done here, because the cultist grenadier puts down a bomb that says move or take 5 damage. Like,
Oh, that would be a huge improvement.
yeah,
Just every turn, you get an AoE targeted on you, forcing you to move. But I think they might have figured that was
Guide my hand.
too easy to manage.
yeah, but a diameter 10 template is still a very large chunk of the map telling you not to be there.
I mean, I think it would have been an overall improvement.
Yeah.
But a number of the changes that they've made over, I guess, over the patch cycle has been trying to make it less easy, more towards a specific targeted level of difficulty.
Yeah.
So I figure this is it is a constant pressure that forces you to complete the map or eventually die. You're not. They don't want you sitting there all the time, which
Yeah. I just look
I
how
don't
spread
agree
out
with
I am, and I cannot get this thing to only hit one person.
and I think you're right with the idea of getting two plague immune people with armor,
Yeah.
because it is going to target where it can hit the most people, and the only way that you can really guarantee that is, or like guarantee who it's hitting is to give it a target and then just keep the other people out of there. But again, even with that, making sure that nobody is within 10 tiles of
At
that
your
group
disposal.
just got to be a pain in the ass. But that also means that splitting up, you can't reliably do that either.
Right.
Because you could have one group together, and then the other group would have to be 10 tiles away from each other at all times.
Hey, look, you can guarantee crit this without
Targeting.
spending crippling shot.
Yeah.
The ultimate critical hit.
Slotted.
Like, I think the two changes, like, either make it like a delay, like the cultist grenade, or make
Slightly
it
smaller radius.
smaller radius, or make it
To reload.
centered on somebody. Don't let this thing like just free aim that stuff. Aim at a unit so that it's, you know, radius 5 from a target, not like
I'm honestly surprised that they didn't do that,
yeah.
because the area is so large. Computationally, this is one of those things. If it has to be centered on a unit, then the computer only has to make 4 decisions. I put it on this guy, this guy, this guy, or that guy.
Right.
And it checks those decisions and says, you know, this one hits, you know, the most people, I'm going to pick this. Or this one hits the most people, but they're lower HP. Compared to the other one that also hits 2 people.
And ready.
So you can have some limited decisions there, but it's still, you're checking a relatively small number of possibilities. The fact that this can be aimed anywhere means that it's got to be figuring out somehow like testing all the individual squares and saying, okay, which one of these is most likely to hit more people? And there's probably ways to make that more efficient. I'm not an algorithms guy, but
Yeah.
it's way easier if you just limit the possible places to shoot to 4. But it's 2020. We don't optimize games. Even despite all of that griping, even though we have a suboptimal setup going, it still hasn't been all that much of a problem.
Yeah, I suppose. The other thing
it is somewhat annoying that it's summoning reinforcements, and you have to watch
Yeah.
and see that, like, oh, like it feels like it's trying to encourage you to rush forward.
Was gonna say, yeah.
What is your will?
But there's no possible way you can do anything about it before all the reinforcements there anyways.
Right. I don't know, maybe if you could rush fast enough. I don't think I've done this before the Hive depletes its reinforcement pool. But it's another thing that makes me...
do that in less than 4 turns.
Right. Well, that's one of those things that make me think it wants you to split up, is that maybe if you were going full speed around the perimeter and 2 people were getting 1 Hive on one side, they meet in the middle,
Weapons
maybe
ready.
you could do that fast enough?
But the moment you encounter an enemy group, you only have 2 people to do it. You're spending more time fighting them.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, you save more time in that you're hitting multiple areas at once, but you're spending longer anytime that there's something to do.
Right.
So I don't really think that you would be gaining by splitting up unless 2 people could accomplish the objectives in the same amount of time. Which, well, for one of these things, yeah, maybe that's the case. All you really have to do is splat one.
Yeah. And they're only 10 HP. They're not always necessarily guarded either, which is the truth. So that if you get out there before it spawns reinforcements and before patrols are out there, maybe you can get to them before they get guarded.
I just don't think it's possible to get to all of them in, and clear them in 3 turns.
Yeah.
Even if you were, heavily abusing interceptors to get the maximum amount of mobility.
Right.
It just seems completely pointless to tell you, oh, they're reinforcements. You might as well have just had them on the map to begin with.
Well, not having them on the map to begin with means that, in theory, not aggro them. Or you can cut through the middle. Like, I don't have to go around this outside. I could cut through that middle if I had wanted to. There's not really a reason for it, but I could. I could just go walk up to it and look at the Hive while it's invulnerable.
Well, I could sort of potentially see you doing that and killing the reinforcements as they spawn in.
Oh, yeah.
Just so that you aren't dealing with all 4 sets of reinforcements at once.
That's a good idea.
But again, it takes you multiple turns just to get there.
Right.
And at which point you're just dealing with the combat against, 2 or more pods, because it's the 2 reinforcements plus the static spawns that are already there.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like a good tactical plan. Is what I'm getting.
Ready to kill.
Yeah. Oh yeah, look at me count tiles. So I didn't want to move the Apothecary close to the other 2, so that it wouldn't get 3. But then I realized if I move the Vindicare close to the Apothecary, well then the artillery can, choose, does it want to hit 2 up there, or does it want to hit 2 that includes the Vindicare with its no HP? It means I have to leave the Vindicare so far behind to have him not get artilleried.
I don't know which brother was overwatching, but it looked like he just disappeared when he got hit by the artillery.
I must have blinked and missed it. It would be the Interceptor, though.
Yeah. Well, I think because he was in the Overwatch pose. Or that, or he just blended in really well.
Awaiting directions. Finding better ground.
I was really hoping the troll over that, like,
Your
broken
orders?
wall was going to be revealed, but
How have you not revealed that control?
I don't know, I didn't see it around the corner, I guess. Found him, though.
It's only 2 Marines.
Discovered.
I mean, I feel like there's some credence to the splitting up into two groups, because two Marines versus two of your Marines seems like it should be something of a fair fight.
Right. Yeah, like I said, the reinforcements that it summons, I feel, are like half-strength patrols, which is why I feel like it wants me to go 2 and 2 around the map.
Are these the reinforcements, or are these existing patrols?
I'm not sure. I have a way of telling at the moment.
For my loyal service!
I'm just not really sure, like, is it summoning the reinforcements and then they go patrol around the map? I wasn't sure
Yes.
if you know.
Yeah, the reinforcements spawn at the hive and then patrol around to the germs.
Listening.
Also, yes, I did accidentally slightly manhole cover myself with the Justicar.
I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine. Just walk it off.
Yeah.
Well, you got a black carapace and power armor.
Black Carapace?
That's the thing under Space Marine skin that lets them interface with power armor. It also makes your skin bulletproof.
Oh, okay. Wait, it's under their skin?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Their skin is lifted up and they implant slabs of this, and that's how they do, like, that's how their power armor works and lets them have the fine dexterity and control that lets them jump over knee-high barriers.
Feel my wrath.
People thought lots of things were cool in the 80s, and they had to look at the back.
Enemy down.
I feel like I have a comment about your
Storm.
carpeted walls in 2 previous domiciles ago.
Carpeted walls.
Didn't you have like a basement and with carpeted walls? That was giant pain for you?
You have been judged.
No. Like,
Okay.
Advancing.
that might have been the house that had the, like, commercial indoor-outdoor carpeting in the kitchen and the bathroom.
Oh god.
But yeah, not carpeted walls. That's,
Okay.
That makes it sound like I was living in a different kind of place.
Lapdogs of the false emperor.
Like the 70s?
More of a place for
Target
padded walls.
acquired.
Oh, okay.
Stay cover. Out of sight.
So here's another patrol that's only a marine and a surgeon. It seems like every patrol is half strength here. What is this one? Like a couple of Hawkswalkers and a fat guy?
Enemy reinforcements.
Yeah, look at this.
Loyal service.
So this is what, 1 Plague Marine and a handful of melees. It's not much of a patrol. It is going to slow us down.
I could see it attriting at least a squad of 2 guys.
Yeah, a squad of 2 guys against that many individual units is going to be rough. It's always worse being outnumbered than outgunned. Yeah. Somebody might have some grenades around here. I don't know. I've started kind of replacing grenades with
Yes, Commander.
upgraded like passive war gears, like the crit books or the blessed greaves or the things like that.
I mean, those are quite good. Also, you haven't gotten any upgraded grenades.
That's true.
The starter frag grenades are kind of falling off.
Yeah. Haven't even given us crack grenades yet.
I don't really feel like the crack grenades are all that great. They have a definite use. They're armor break, but
Unleash me.
That's kind of the thing with all of the grenades. They all kind of are like area 3 damage at that lowest level. And then they have some sort of different effect.
I am with you.
Frags will knock back, cracks will armor break, rad grenades will bleed. There's supposed to be radiation, I assume, right?
yeah,
So,
they're not just really cool grenades.
yeah. Okay, guys. The next time I throw a grenade, and we get that cool little like cinematic on it, I need somebody to take that frame, crop it out, and then just put like sunglasses and a backwards baseball cap on the grenade, please. Maybe a little skateboard. You know, like the rad gun from Dungeon.
Oh yeah.
Gungeon. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, that would be a rad grenade. Then there's what, the psychotropic one that might inflict craze, or
But like, you know, this enemy group. If
Yeah.
you threw any kind of grenade, it would have a meaningful effect.
yeah.
Well, crack grenade maybe less so. But even still, there's 3 pips of armor in there.
Yep.
And just doing, you know, 4 or 5 damage across 5 targets would be fine.
Yeah.
Psychotropic would get some of them attacking each other, so it would help in that regard.
Yeah.
The stun flashbang grenade, I don't know, might actually put the smaller ones into execute or
Gratitude.
Oh, the
alter them into execute.
well, the stun grenade. I think, what do they call it here? The European brain mine.
Yeah, the brainjack mine.
Okay, that make good. The problem with that one is that it doesn't have area 3, because if it had area 3, it would be entirely too powerful. It
Yeah,
has
but-
like area 0.5.
There's grenade armor, and you can have grenade
Traits.
armor
Yeah.
plus area on that.
Yep. I think my first run through that you might have remembered from the streaming, I think it was my Purifier had some grenade traits, and then they also just had grenade skills, and then we found the grenade armor, and we put the brain mines on him, and he got like being able to throw a grenade at like area 2, stun 5 was very powerful.
And you got like 3 or 4 of them a mission.
Yeah.
You will.
But also being able to do that with, you know, tier 2 or 3 frag grenades or crack grenades, or have more area with the psychotropic grenades. Like, they're not completely useless, but I can also easily see how 35% more crit is, you know, more desirable, especially on somebody who doesn't have grenade armor.
Yeah. First strike, still real good.
It sounds like the off-map artillery is to the right.
It shouldn't. But yeah, that was all coming in the right channel.
Yeah, I mean, presumably it's the hive germ leader thing, the one that's invulnerable, that's actually spitting at you.
Yes. Eh, 85% chance to crit without using special abilities. Oh, that's so fun when you get the Vindicator to just ludicrous crit levels.
Your command.
I mean, if you had the tier 3, it would be 100%, wouldn't it?
Well, he's 70. So you'd go to 85, and I think the Marine itself had a 15 crit vulnerability, so yeah, I think so.
I have claimed this righteous moon essence.
This is annoying. I really want my Interceptor to offer covering fire on the Plague Marine, because the Vindicator can shoot him, but he won't do enough raw damage. So I have to spend an entire AP to move 1 square over.
Vindicator at your disposal. In
I
my
mean, you're spending
sights.
1 AP to do an extra 10 damage.
That is true.
But I understand it. It feels bad to think that you could have been providing extra damage without spending AP if you were 1 square closer.
Yeah. I suppose I could have shot his gun arm off and let him
Weapon
bleed
empty.
to death, but then he still gets to try to stab somebody for 2. There's no point in letting him do that. I'm 1 off. So, gotta force bolt them.
That's what willpower's for. Spend it to do +1 damage. Everyone's spending 1 AP.
I am the wrath
True.
of Xyphos.
Although it's with the Apothecary. I want to keep his willpower up, because sooner or later, and I think actually I have, run out of Medicae Servo Skulls. So the chip damage of the artillery is going to start adding up, and I don't have a Plague Cure either.
I'm wondering, we are finally going to see the teleport strike actually in use.
Oh. You know? Probably not a good idea. Could have.
I am the Emperor's
You had a
fury.
whole bunch of enemies in a conveniently close but inconveniently far away distance that you could
Right. Yeah.
soften up for a whole bunch of melee strike. Like, spending 1 willpower to force strike these guys when you're
Face me.
going to be one-hitting them with that,
Emperor's
it just means that you're breaking even.
Yeah, well, Boars actually doesn't need to force strike. He's just doing regular hits. He's gaining willpower.
Well, he is on these. He needed one on the first hit. But
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that was because of
He's-
mutations.
yeah, he still ended with 6 out of 6 willpower.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I will hold
That definitely reaches far enough, right? It's not just gonna just go right around that cone.
I mean, you asking that question tells me the answer.
Yeah. It definitely wasn't a misplay where that one tile of having to move over for support fire is going to come back and cost me, right? And then how is he hitting me that, like, come on. Really? It's the worst Overwatch.
I know why games have moved to the cone-based Overwatch, but I still think that XCOM 2's Overwatch is fine.
Yeah.
You keep it within a certain range if you have to, make shots less likely to hit. But what you don't do is require the player to perfectly intuit exactly the way enemies are going to move. You do something like suppression, where you target an enemy and say, I'm going to shoot him if he does move.
My wrath
Or you
is
just do
restored,
XCOM 2
brother.
style Overwatch that says, if they move within this radius, I get a free shot.
Yeah.
Free. You spent
You paid the
you're going
AP
to
for it. Yeah,
Overwatch.
yeah, yeah. You get an interrupt shot, whatever.
Seed claim.
I think they do it just because the cones look cool.
Yeah. Everybody loves a good cone. And I think we've already talked about Phantom Doctrine doing kind of the variable in between, which I thought was a pretty good system. You can either draw a very long and specific cone if you wanted to overwatch like a doorway far away, or you can draw it real close to you and have a 360-degree coverage at much shorter ranges.
You see, I like that,
Yeah.
and it worked really well
Awaiting
with Phantom
directions.
Doctrine's much shorter ranges. For a game like this, with longer ranges in terms of, just tile distances, I really think you just need to suck it up and either make the cones very wide or, and up to the wide,
Confirmed.
or just make it distance-based and don't give a shit about, you aimed this a little bit too far to the left. Now an enemy's gonna,
Right.
find the one path that'll let them sneak through. At the same time, though, the enemy does have to follow the same rules. They just aren't obliged to care in the same way.
Yeah.
The enemy
I've
is
definitely
wounded.
plotted a few melee runs around an Overwatch cone to hit somebody to disrupt their Overwatch.
They just the enemy has different objectives. They're not really playing the same game. So the fact that they're using the same system is not all that helpful. I'm wondering, are you going to reload the interceptor after this? I mean, I guess he's got 3 rounds in the chamber.
What is your will?
Hopefully. They're not strictly necessary since Boris is immune to plague. The reason I hate these guys is because they explode and they plague everybody near them. But hey, A, the critical hit, but B, even if I didn't get it, the armor. I feel like we have been here for so long already, and there's still like 2 more sub-objectives before the main objective.
With haste.
I'm just tired. Just want to go home, have a root beer, like wash the plague artillery off of me, and just, rest.
I sense their presence.
I'm wondering how random the patrols are.
I bring blessings.
Like, if you had chosen to go the other path, would you run into like those two patrols at the same time. Damn you, audio balancing.
Yeah,
It really makes me think the artillery is coming off map.
it does. Maybe it's not coming from the hive. I don't know.
Ready to kill.
I had sort of hoped that the surgeon would have gone the other way, but no, he's just up here on my Vindicator.
I love that 170% crit chance.
Mutilate you.
Yeah, I just don't want to deal with him. Just shoot his hand off. Now I can walk away from him.
Must reload.
And what is he gonna do?
Target
Oh,
ready
this is
for
this is
dissection.
possibly completely unnecessary, but I do forget that the Vindicator has it a lot of time. Spy Mask just gives everybody, well, gives anybody 25% crit vulnerability, and it lasts infinitely and it recharges in 6 turns. So if there's anything that's going to survive a few hits or be a problem, like Spy Mask is great.
Yeah, it's like a different way of doing the vulnerability that the Purgators give.
Oh, Sanctified Killing Zone?
Yeah.
Well, that just adds straight damage.
Well, right,
Yeah.
but that's a vulnerability debuff.
Understood.
This is
Yes.
not that, but is linguistically a vulnerability debuff.
So I'm looking at this and realizing that Revitalized Malignancy, he can't do that to himself. He can only heal others.
So he is stuck, can't regrow his own hand, huh?
Yes. Now somebody has to double back and help the Vindicator deal with this. Possibly. The Apothecary is out of willpower. So this is where it's been kind of a slog, but easily manageable until now. But now, I have no more Metacase calls, and the Apothecary's out of willpower. We can get him some more willpower soon. But that just kind of means now the artillery chip damage is real and significant.
I mean, it's already significant. The Apothecary is down to 12 out of 18.
Yeah.
You just haven't been able to spend free resources to deal with it.
Right. Oh, shot off his gun arm, baiting him. Elgon has 2 armor, so even if that Apothecary just runs up and knifes him, it does not matter.
And then next turn you can kill him for willpower.
Yes.
With me, my brothers.
So here's some optimistic
I shall hold their charge.
overwatching. I am-
Very optimistic. I don't
Yeah.
really think that pod is... I think they're going to activate on you.
I have
But
sanctified
I
my
know that they're going
rounds.
to get that close.
Right. Although I wasn't entirely sure what else I was going to do with them, because I didn't want to run forward to activate them on my turn. I wanted them to activate and come towards me. Yes, yeah.
No, I mean, that's perfectly fair.
Look at this disgusting artillery. At least Vindicator resisted the plague. Oh, I didn't even activate the patrol. Alright.
It's teleporting past the intervening space again.
Nurgle patrols are a lot like electrons. You know they can
can
exist in a range of positions, but
Yes.
you can't be certain.
Prepared to fire.
Well, you know the patrol moved a certain distance, but
Yeah.
not its precise location during that time.
Yeah.
Here. Ready to kill. I am death.
My dude, you're wearing power armor. That is some gross overreaction to a needle pistol.
It's not a needle pistol, as far as I know. Exodus pistol?
I think it shoots needles.
Oh.
They're like hypervelocity needles, but still.
Alright.
I am here. Foe wounded.
I remember
He
the
just mutates 6 more HP.
yes, he did. Remember the Sons of the Tainted warband thing?
Yeah.
Yep. 15% chance when he takes damage, he mutates, and one of those mutations is plus 6 HP.
Well, at least he can't get it again, right?
Unless I purge him, I believe you are correct. Although, I think one of the other mutations he could have theoretically gotten was 2 armor, which also would have been annoying.
I must rearm.
But like I think I said in the post, the Sons of the Tainted, I don't usually pay attention to them until they do exactly that, where it's like I calculated how many AP and how many damage I need to kill you in an efficient manner, and then they're gonna go mutate and screw up my count.
They don't matter until suddenly they do.
Yeah. Yeah. Funny how
Got
things
a
like
full
that work.
turn. Clearly you have to do something to these guys.
Yeah.
It will be done.
See, like, it's just
Taking cover.
a Plague Doc and a Plague Walker. That's definitely gonna hit him, right?
I would
Totally.
have expected that to have hit him.
Yeah. I may have
But I
been
also
getting
would have
frustrated.
expected him to highlight if it was targeting him.
Your second expectation there is spot on, by the way. If you ever do this and you don't see their like health bars show red as if like, you know, estimated damage from action, yeah, then it's not gonna hit them.
Definitely didn't see any indication he actually was going to get hit.
Yeah.
It just looked like he should have been.
Yes.
Oh, the crate got faded out for being close to the camera. I was like,
He's
is
just
that
floating.
motherfucker just floating?
Yeah, no, just Nurgle things.
Boxless cretin.
Only have 1 AP to get over there, and it's just I don't think it's worth getting over there for 1.
It might be worth getting closer to the objective.
The germ that's to the upper right of the screen, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Force.
Or, you know,
Think-
Boris could wave the flag.
Oh yeah, that's true.
He's got all that willpower.
I think I'm trying to bait out the Plague Doc's shitty pulse pistol attack. And to do it on Boars, because he has armor. And not on Storm. But I don't remember. I recorded this one a long time ago before the cat was hospitalized, so it's been a week or two.
Their flesh.
Well, that was a shitty bolt.
Yep.
At range, and at someone in light cover. That's the other problem, is that now you are effectively split up into 2 groups. So, Malik and the Vindicare.
Yeah.
Swiftly.
I mean, I guess they can kind of flank the dude.
Yeah, we can converge through the middle.
Target.
But it seems like, at this point, why not? Why not split up and... You know, like you've got another pod up off the top of the screen to the north.
Right. I'm gonna do what I think I'm gonna do. Yeah. How done am I with this Plague Surgeon and the this mission dragging on? 1 deadbolt or deadeye shot worth of fed up.
Is this the first mission where you've gotten a second one of those?
I think so.
Reload. Taking position.
There's a patrol in that one too.
I do feel like it might be possible for you to not activate the patrol back there, then kill the thing.
Yeah, that was real close. I'm thinking, what's my plan here? I think I got a plan here. Of course, the other plan is, or the first plan is, this shot for 2 is garbage. But,
But you've got the interceptor.
exactly.
must rearm.
That's goddamn reload though. Well, the Interceptor has an AP and he can make an attack.
Target acquired.
Troll moves into you.
With you.
They'll maybe not have their full turn of actions.
We are discovered.
They'll instantly
Turn
return themselves
position.
to their position and then take their full turn of actions.
No. They activated on their turn, so they'll
Yeah, that's perfect. Although, looks like Voldred is going to need to pop back to where the Apothecary is.
Yes, absolutely. Just taking so much chip damage. Although we are now one germ away from the hive being formed. So I have a plan, I think.
I'm pretty sure the plan is going to have Voldred Storm teleport over, kill the germ, and then Quicksilver everyone back to the hive?
Gate of Infinity.
Yeah.
That is probably pretty close to the plan. I don't think it is exactly as you called it, but I'm pretty sure it's very similar.
These wounds will heal. Curse, it cannot focus.
So Storm has spent his entire AP this turn, so it's actually going to be Elgon.
Seeking the tainted.
I didn't realize that those two guys wouldn't be able to shoot you if you came through that way. There's a wall there.
Yeah.
It's basically perfectly safe for you to rush this.
Yeah. Well, there's a bit of a wall. It doesn't extend all the way to the edge map, but they went
But
back and around it. Yeah,
they would have to go very far around.
Yeah.
And there's another patrol there, but...
Oh, yes. You were talking about the two that are activated. Yes, Elgon is safe from those two. I was talking about the blip. The blip has gone around it. Yeah.
From this angle, it kind of looks like there's a gap in the wall.
It does. Yeah. I got you. Oh god, am I counting tiles? Why am I counting tiles again? Oh, I'm counting tiles to keep him out of artillery? No, I'm measuring... Oh, I think I'm measuring 14 from that guy.
So that
for rifle
he
range.
runs forward and doesn't attack you?
Yeah, something like that. It would be a nice quality of life thing to get, like, be able to select enemy units and see, like, their movement range and options.
Entering stealth.
You know, things like Triangle Strategy did.
I was going to say, I can think of at least one type of game.
As
that does
requested.
Yeah, is it Triangle Strategy?
It wasn't. So I can now think of two types of games that do that.
Was the other one the one we don't talk about?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, really, those are the same type of game.
That's true. There's been quality of life stuff in the last 30 years. It's always weird when games don't have it.
Yeah.
I kind of thought that you were just going to have boars just run. Just start running towards the hive. Because what are they going to do? Chase you and shoot you around the corner?
You know, I suppose. But like I think you correctly guessed, my plan here is to Gate of Infinity. Like, next turn Elgon kills the hive, and then we just teleport everything onto the... I'm sorry, he kills the germ, and then we teleport everything onto the hive, and then just hit the stratagems in one turn it.
Yeah, I figured in that case that you might have had the Vindicare just run straight towards the hive, because he's not going to get Gate of Infinity.
That's true, but he also has, 14 tiles of range. Sometimes I also start executing a plan before I have fully thought it the way through. So 5 means I can two-shot this, although I only have 2 AP, so again, another time spending a single AP, making me feel sad. But I didn't want to activate these guys on my turn.
Sort of wondering how they got activated. I guess Boris would have been the one.
Probably. Guys, hello? Nurgle? There we go.
We are the swords of justice.
Unending horror, because if you had been split up, that's definitely what you wanted to deal with only 2 dudes.
Well, that just adds 2 HP to all the demonic units.
Yeah, but that probably means that you have to spend another AP to kill everybody.
I could. Yeah, like those Poxwalkers probably are going from like 5 to 7, which is, yeah, gonna require more.
Yes! Again! Again!
Okay. We just... Did it? Oh god, it healed 2 from the Nurgling pile. I didn't notice that when I was playing. Because it has 10 health, it lost 5 last turn, but then it gains 2 from the fucking Nurgling pile activating.
Now vulnerable.
Just the things that this mission does to nickel and dime you out of like every AP it can. Alright, well, jeez, finally the Hive is useful, so now it's unguarded, and this is easy. I mean, especially with the extra stratagems. Strength of Spirit for just almost guaranteed critical hits. Quicksilver for 2 more AP if I need it.
I
and
feel
because
like
of the...
Strength of Spirit may have been more valuable using it earlier, but it's hard to say.
Yeah.
This is just piling on.
Yeah. I hear that takes a reroll now.
I am an
know
instrument
much
of
about the
vengeance.
current version of the rules.
Yeah, I think they discovered that piling on was too powerful, and now it takes a team reroll.
Moving.
Oh, yes, moving 1 increment at a time, because I have my suspicions that that is more efficient for the Vindicare because of how the free relocate ability has a chance to activate. And he's just out of range. He has to reload, and it's a mess. Also, because this is the last thing I can just... I didn't do it, but I can just dump willpower into Force Strike on every attack, because no reason not to. This dies mission ends.
It's 2 more damage.
Yep. Although I think with 6 AP over there, I think we're fine. Plus, Ruthless Precision is going to get us a few more. And then I realized, is it more valuable after I got Ruthless Precision to shoot it?
I mean, at least for a couple of shots.
Yeah. Let's get the support fine.
Alright, who's gonna get the XP?
The threat is vanquished. Well done, Commander. We will continue to monitor this system for any sign of the Hive's return.
Justice!
Oh. Okay, I saw the 1 and I was like, oh, he only got 1 XP for that. But no, it was 44.
It was the willpower that was the one.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't like those missions. I feel like they're just not paced or mechanically put together the same as the other missions. They don't give you the out-of-combat break, just the constant artillery. By the way, I definitely won that mission without healing. Did you see that?
Sure. What?
I don't know. The cursor is me being very confused. I'm like, I spent all of my requisition before this. I had 0 requisition before this. Why do I have 7 now? Destroy all hive germs is 2. Requisition for the mission's 1. So I should have 3. But then the glorious deed completed, I got 4. And I'm like,
Glorious
alright.
deed was definitely indicated as if you had done it.
Yeah. Which is weird, because not only did I not succeed it, I also didn't activate it. So,
Yeah. Also,
I-
interesting, but it's only tier 1.
it is. But it's only 1 requisition. And I just got 4 requisition I did not deserve.
It's fair. Spend some of it on a flamethrower.
Yeah. Some flamethrowers are great.
Tier 3 skull armor. You almost have to.
I almost have to. But what good is tier 3 skull armor without tier 3 skulls?
I mean, the tier 3 skulls are nice.
Honestly, can't remember if I select this armor or not. It's been a while.
I feel like it's tier 3 armor. You want it.
I do.
It's power. It comes with armor inherently. Like 2 ammo on skulls. The 4 range is just whatever.
Yeah. Yes, Boars is finishing out Justicar, so we're just kind of... He already has Terminator armor, so we're going to go ahead and get him a Psy Cannon, and then I got to decide between, like, Rapid Reload or Crit Damage.
I'm honestly shocked that you went Psy Cannon instead of just going for the crit damage and Rapid Reload.
I'm going to get all of them. This is just a question of order rather than
Right.
selection.
Well, I could definitely see not bothering spending the point on the Psy Cannon if you don't plan on ever giving him one.
Yeah, that is true. And if you didn't already have Terminator armor, I think you'd be 100% right. You grab the extra crit damage, you grab the reload, or whatever. Or you go Rend the Unclean. With how he's set up, I feel like Psy Cannon's going to be fun. There are a lot of very fun level 2 and level 3 Psy Cannons that have not only a lot of damage, but a lot of fun effects. Like, pinned, or well, maybe not pinned, hobbled. Actually, I think there is one that's pinned. There's one that's armor break. There's one that's enraged. It's great. So, yeah, Elgon needs more skulls in his pockets. And this is demonstrated by running out of skulls last mission. Then I think I'm just gonna... So, I think I need to upgrade the barracks. We've hit the point of the game where I'm taking minor injuries constantly, and I need more dudes to freshly cycle through these missions. Yeah, here we go. Let's get the skull armor. I've already researched green, and if I hadn't, I've got 60 greens. Let's just upgrade that. And you're right. I mean, it's only 1 armor on power armor, but that is still nice. That is just less chip damage in the future. Look at that. We can now have 10 extractors and 8 medical servo skulls. Although some of that's because he put those skill points in, not just the armor.
Yeah. But even just like any random brother could run in with +3 uses of skulls.
Yeah.
And they're tier 3, so 9 HP. It would be credible to take a brother with that instead of an apothecary.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like you're giving up offensive things like shards or blusteries or whatever at that point. But you do make a good point that
you are, but like
27 HP is good heals.
Devil's advocate. This is where you would have the second interceptor or something like that. It's definitely a workable option. I don't know if it's necessarily better.
Well, we can theory craft that one next time. I think it's time to go back in the freezer. I'm going to go around this warp storm and sit in the center of the sector and wait for the next bloom mission. That has been a Tentarus Hive. I hate them. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye.